Oh my. Oh my. Oh, this is what I wanted to go to. Hello. Hello, everybody. This feels weird. I haven't done one of these in a minute. I think since like last month. So, hello. Hi. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm going to turn the music down just a wee bit because I can barely hear myself think right now. But hope y'all are doing well. We got a snow day today, and I'm on my week vacation anyway, so I figured I'd do a little drawing stream and get at it. You know, have some fun doing that. As you can tell, I'm definitely very awake, very alert, very alive. We're doing fantastic. Let's see here. I'm gonna move my mic over here. So if it's too low, just let me know. I think we're fine. But just giving you updates as they come. But I'm gonna be referencing a drawing here by Matt Frank. I do this weekly drawing challenge with one of my friends from work. There we go. Okay. And this week's drawing is Godzilla. So I figured, this would be a fun one to stream. I think this would be a good one to start off with. Because I'm doing weekly drawings, and I figured, I might as well stream these. Or at least do something with them, because, I don't know. One, it'll make me focus more. And two, just gives me an opportunity to stream more, I think. It'd be more appealing. But, yeah, let's just go ahead and get to it. I usually keep us about 60 or so. Is this weird to draw on? I haven't been drawing on my drawing tablet in a minute. I've been drawing on, I guess, technically, yes, my drawing tablet, but I have, like, a tablet specifically for drawing. So using this, like, what I'm using right now feels very bizarre. I'm gonna have to get used to drawing on a tablet and not looking at it. I think I might as well make it a decent bigger. And then we got kind of a shoot. This was not too complicated of a drawing, but I always like starting by getting the gestures down. That could work. We got a little bit of that going on, and then a little bit of whoop. Nope, a little bit of whoop. More of a whoop. Something like that. It's very hard to get this rhythm down again. Oh boy, you're gonna see me struggling a bit here, I think, but that's fine. I wish I could capture from that new drawing tablet because it feels a lot more right. And I think there probably is a way for me to, because I actually bought like a little thing for me to work with it, and it just isn't capturing it. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if it's just it being lame or what's going on with that. But I wish it'd work. That'd be sweet. I also just learned about the, where is it? Freeform gradient fill tool. No. Where's the liquefy tool? Am I crazy? Yo, dog, I'm crazy. This makes this a lot more annoying to work with. Well, not necessarily, but I mean, I want my liquefy tool. Layer, select, view. Canvas, new window, workspace. Color slider, color set, immediate color, color history, color mixing, animation cells, timelines, auto actions, materials, palette dock. Damn, screw it, I guess. That's fine. We don't need it. I ain't no baby. I ain't no big old ah. That'll mess thing up though. You guys didn't tell what I did, but I just messed it up. Okay, there we go. But I ain't no baby. I ain't no big old baby. We do this. We work around these things. That's what artists do. But I guess while I'm rambling on, worth noting that I'm mostly getting back into the flow of drawing because I made a video about this on my second channel, but the hope is for this coming year for me to publish a comic, and if I want to do that, gotta get gooder at drawing again because I haven't been consistently drawing in a hot minute since like 2021, I think. It's almost like 5 years where I was doing pretty consistent drawings, and now that I'm back into it, I think I'm finally getting back into like a rhythm that I can say I'm pretty proud of. Mostly studies from other people's art and just kind of trying to see what they do right. I'll show you some examples later if you guys are interested, but I think we're getting there. And now after I get to this portion of it and getting this down right, what I want to make sure I get next is like character design and that kind of idea, to make sure I got some interesting concepts and, you know, isn't just like slathering concepts around with character designs, and, you know, actually have meaningful aspects to those designs. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? That'd be neat, I think. As mentioned, when I do these little like rough sketches, they're very rough. So you guys seeing this and thinking like, wow, this guy is dog shit. I mean, I am, but know that this isn't the finished product or anything. This is just me laying down the foundation for what I need later on. Because actually, considering I'm referencing this over here, this is a pretty detailed drawing by Mr. Matt Frank here. It's very, very good. I plan on taking a different direction though, so we're gonna see how this goes. See, like, for example, this jaw needs to be longer. Reference from Legendary's take on Gojira. It's kind of bizarre looking, but it looks natural when you see it over here. It's got a little bit of a bump over here as well. So we got something going on over here. Big old rankles right there. Google, nobody asked you for anything. Oh, and great, now my sound's gone. Excellent. I love it. I love it. There we go. Okay. So notably, we got like a big thing going on right there. So this is, I mean, this is pretty far off. This is bizarre for me because I'm using some new tools here as well, so that might be throwing me off a little bit. Sheesh, how does this work? Oh, that's right. I forgot. Like I said, I've been using a different drawing tablet, so I forget the other side of this pen is technically an eraser. So I'm like, how do I erase with this thing? Well, my eraser is tiny, but I'm also using a Tor box. If any of you guys are artists and know about the Tor box, this thing's very interesting, very helpful. Means I can just do that and that very quickly. I mean, I could always do that with the express keys I have on this tablet, but having the convenience of having that plus a button that lets me do like undos, redos, scaling, zoom in, zoom out, like all that's very, very useful. I actually don't even know what all the buttons on this thing do. I need to program more of them so I can get more of a thing going on. Let's see. Oh, let's have it on white. I'm like, what the F? What the frick, dude? So if it might go more like this, and then it goes more, it's like a stoop decline. There we go. This is, God, that's gonna be confusing. I'm still trying to press the wrong buttons to do the wrong things. Hilarious. It's gonna take some getting used to flip this thing over and over again. Oh my God. Oh, because it's a color picker. That's what it is. I'm like, what's it doing here, man? If we do one of those and it's more like one of that. Yeah, like something like that. And then on the eyes, something like that. And this is actually more downward angled now that I see it. Let's see. More like that. More or less, it's slightly more curved. I'll keep it like that for now. That's fine. And then he has a little like. This is a little bit more towards the jaw, actually, so we'll keep that there. More on that kind of line, because this actually has a little thing going on here too, where I can do a little of that, and that, and then that, and then that, and then that, and then that. Actually, it doesn't go over there. Let's go ahead and include some of these spikerinos. So we're doing a very simple kind of gesture-esque drawing here just to get the base work down. This is actually incorrect. Something about this is off. It's how wide I have the face. But I actually think I prefer my face being a little bit more wide because his illustration has it more narrow. I might keep it the way I have it right now, honestly. Let's see. I'm gonna fart, don't tell anybody. I'm gonna do one of those like that, and it connects to another spike right over here. And then all those. Something like that, that's fine. I'm gonna do a little honestly, the less controlled I can have this, it might be for the better, honestly. Because I have a bad habit of over-controlling these things. Let's see. That's very close, so that's not right. As I have learned in my days of recently drawing again, the best you can have a sketch from the starting point, the better. Even though those spikes I just drew look horrendous, but we'll get it fixed. Honestly, I need to focus on getting just the groundwork down right now. So that needs to be more over here. This needs to be more over here. This is more like that. Something like that, I think. And then a little more of that. Just a lot more of that. We can work that, honestly. So from here, what I like to do is make this a blue layer. He's looking a little blur, just a bit, just a bit. It's funny you say that. Now's when I get to the pencil sketch. Or actually, I might try some of Mark Brunette's. Shit. No, man, I can't click on the link. Real pencil. Yeah, Streamlabs doesn't let me click on shit, so I have to go all the way to Twitch and open it. It's worth it? It better be. I'm gonna be pissed.
It's just 2 of those days, Saturday and Sunday, the weekend. Yeah.
A little throw of yeah. Alright. So let's see if I do a quick little save. I've never even done anything funny here. That's silly. That's silly of me. 2026. Gojira. Gojira. My algorithm is fucked. I believe you. Speaking of fucked algorithms, Ben, I'll probably be giving you your I haven't forgotten. I'll probably be giving you your aura farming clips later today once I finish the stream, maybe. Timing is everything. Timing is everything is all I can say. So I'll probably, this is at 4 right now. I'll go to 30. Damn, that's still thin. 60. Oh shit, I forgot about that, Lamau. Yeah, bro, I didn't. I've been waiting to record those all fucking week. It's very lazy for me to get that fucking green screen out. But I think I need it for something else in terms of like another clip I need for my video, so I need to get it anyway. I now have a clip of me laughing at the end of Evangelion in that video, so should be pretty good. Damn, I like this pencil. I think we should have a school walkout where we say, Kanye, we forgive you. Yeah, man. Kanye, you know what? You might have said some really fucked up shit over the last 3 years and have been apparently in a bipolar crisis for that amount of time. But, you know what? Shit happens, you know, bro. It's just good. It's good. Something like that. I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait to transition to my drawing tablet. I fucking hate drawing this thing right now. Ah, no, I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna do this. Something like that. That's fine. Kind of fucked up with that. More people in Letterboxd didn't have Click in their top 4, bro. Could you imagine not having Click in your top 4? What kind of a fucking wet noodle are you? Generational movie. It's the most fucking Ben thing I've ever heard in my life. Click being a generation. I'm gonna have to find a copy of Click for us to watch. What do we have to watch? We'll have to watch Click, and then there was another movie that I think Maggie mentioned, if I recall well. I grew up the moment Click got serious in that one part. I haven't watched Click in like 2 fucking decades, so I'm not sure if I know what you're talking about. I feel fucking out of it when it comes to drawing, dude. So that's actually way higher up. Ow. I'm gonna blow your mind with the brain rot I stole. I'm scared. Because Ben's always got some fucking crazy ass brain rot. Oh shit. Hope my deep breathing isn't coming through the mic right now. Just realized how heavy I was fucking breathing. I swear I'm okay. I'm just being very absent-minded. Let's try this. The feeling you sent something. No, that was me. Okay. I'm still trying to capture that mental aura as Mr. Beast and Mr. Who's the Boss. They get something that I don't. Man, I can't say I've watched. I can't operate on the plane they work on. I can't say I've watched all that many Mr. Beast videos. Funny enough, I've just watched the ones I think you shared with me, Ben. But I've watched quite the handful of Mr. Who's the Boss videos because I like tech videos, and they're emblematic of that like TikTok like Need for Speed kind of algorithm shit. Like it's very bizarre to me when I first saw that. Yo, what's up, Gaming Hub? It's very bizarre for me when I saw like the timers on sections. He sees a big keyboard and it's like, ooh, this is glory. Yeah, no kidding. $20,000 keyboard. It's just fucking huge. It's like, oh, I was hoping it'd be like something interesting. But you know what I'm talking about? Like it'd be a circle. It's like this is the number 10 on the list, and this is like a circle countdown, or it could be like a countdown from the timeline of the video until the end or whatever, right? Very bizarre to me. It's like letting the audience know this is how much longer you have to wait on this. If you want to move on to the next section, go ahead. It's very, very emblematic of the current age we're living in, where people just can't seem to hold their interest on anything for more than 2 seconds. It's very interesting to me, because I think I'm still very much the opposite. I'm over here making 2-hour-long videos just to, cause that's the kind of thing that holds my interest the most, I think. That's kind of funny. Let's see. Mr. Boss, he's an AI sniper at a tech prison. Is like, wow, that's crazy. Oh, man. As you can see, I'm just kind of bouncing around all over the place with this. I'm just kind of seeing where this guy puts some lines, and I'm just kind of following his example, his whatever. Yeah, whatever. Slight curve right Which means that shit is huge. That's way too fucking big. So we're gonna go ahead and delete that. I want to know what the cake boss is doing / still alive ? I have no fucking clue. I just watched before I got on stream. I was watching some episodes of Kitchen Nightmares. I was just thinking like, man, what a dream. Maybe I'll get fucking Gordon Ramsay to come to my kitchen just so he can get some more people in my restaurant. I think it'd be funny. Man, can you submit my restaurant for Kitchen Nightmares? Invite Cake Boss. We don't make cakes, but bet. I'll invite Cake Boss. Have him make a taco cake. That is obscene. The most disgusting thing you've ever said in your life. Does that mean this is also way too big? If that's what's going on over here. So something like that. Oh my god! New follower, Gaming Hub UK, thank you. Fucking scared the shit out of me. I fucking forgot that was my follower alert. Oh, that's funny. Oh. Sorry. No, that's all good. That's on me. That's on me for forgetting that was my follower alert. Sweet Jesus. The actual fear of God. I don't know if you heard that. Let somebody broke into my house. Oh my fuck. That was funny. Alright. I feel like there's oh fucking Jesus. Oh god. It's always on the streams I was expecting the most comfortable ones too. They always forget those are there. Oh fuck. How's it going, Gaming Cub? I hope you're doing well. What's new, brother? You excited for Dragon Ball Super? Because I sure as shit am. I'm curious to hear your take on this. I'm curious to hear
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey. Damn, I can't believe we got a Baba Booey in 2026.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey. So his nostrils. His nostrils. Drink a monster. Which version of Legendary Goku are you drawing today? So this is actually a design from Matt Frank that I'm trying to like study here. That is more akin to the Legendary Comics Godzilla, actually. It's very similar to the like Legendary Godzilla, but Legendary Comics Godzilla. Godzilla, sorry, my typo. I kind of like Legendary Goku. That's funny. Hopefully Legendary never touches fucking Dragon Ball with a 10-foot pole. I think that's the last thing we need is another live-action Goku. Do 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 do. I've read Godzilla Goes to Hell. Quite a good read. I've not read that yet. I should. I've been meaning to read that as well as yeah. What am I blanking on right now? Oh, the Godzilla Earth comics, I guess the manga, because I've heard those are actually much I somehow managed to fuse gooder and better. Neither of two are words. But I've heard those are good preludes to the movies, which are total asinine dog shit in my opinion. Very, very bad. IMO. Sorry. I think I got a comment earlier today saying that from somebody saying that they actually liked him. I was like, oh, I feel bad for you. I'm sorry. I just think they're so bad. I think they're so fucking bad. Like they're disgraceful. IMO. Yes, the novels for Godzilla Earth are pretty good, but because I think they make fun videos to be like, hey, you know how those movies are dog shit? Check this out. It's actually not half bad when you read the fucking manga. There's gonna be so much liquidation I need to do to fix this shit. Sweet Jesus. Yeah, where the fuck is the liquefy tool? It's gonna make my life a lot easier if I can find that liquefy tool. Hold on a second. I'm gonna have to Google that real quick. CSP. Liquefy tool. Is there a liquefy tool? I can't find any. Oh, it's in the blend? Oh no. It's gradients usually. So let me look in the gradient subtools. Nope. That sucks. I know I just updated this, so it shouldn't be an issue. Fuck it, we ball. Unless, actually, I'm gonna keep on looking. So I keep on looking back at it, and I'm like, man, there's so much I need to fix. I'm already getting picky. As you know, I've been drawing Clearstote Zawaldo for years. I didn't know how to fix my pressure settings and went through the moment of, oh, it was this easy. I wish I knew sooner. Yeah, no, when you get pressure sensitivity down, that shit's so good. Like, I'm not focusing on it right now because, as I mentioned, I might as well, hold on a second, because I keep on bringing it up. I might as well just show it off. I got this moving pad, the Wacom moving pad, and it's like the best way to draw for me right now. So like comparatively, hold on a second. Like I'll show you guys the last drawing I made on this thing. A recovery canvas was created. So like this is an Ultron drawing I did, kind of oddly picking up. Hold on, can I get this over here? Like, ever since I was able to discover, like, pressure sensitivity, this shit's been such a big help. Oh, I can still put it up over here, too, now I think about it. But, like, this is the Pen 3. You're gonna look at one of these and be like, what the fuck? But this is the Pen 3 right here. Very much like a pencil. This is the Pen 2 that I'm drawing on right now, much thicker. This feels like a toy compared to this guy over here. It's very, very nice. I too have a Huron pad, but in the future I'll get a Huron screen pad. I've been trying to, I'm not gonna lie, like Wacom, hit me up, bro. I love their products. I love their products. Like every Wacom thing I've been on, like, is always like, this is the next thing for me. Like this is what I've been drawing on for like the last 6 years until I got this drawing tablet I just showed you guys. It's still great. It's still very, very good. Wacom is awesome as fuck. Yeah, no, I love Wacom. They're a bit on the pricier side. I can definitely say that. But like, man, I think I'm always willing to pay for their stuff because it's always so fluid, so good, and like pressure sensitivity is on another realm with them. I also just love Clip Studio Paint. So I actually planned to do a little. I had like a slight collaboration thing going on with them that I need to finish up. Not collaboration, more like an affiliation, I guess. So like if you get CSP, I get a kickback or something like that if you use my code. I'll have to start doing that because I'm gonna start uploading more stuff on the second channel about like my drawing processes and stuff like that. Let me actually go ahead and I could probably use this as like a little video. Let's see, for the second channel. So I just to give you guys like a quick little like history of, I suppose, right? If I was to upload, like this is 2018 when I started drawing digitally. This is a drawing of Broly I did way back when, and it's probably my best of that year. Like Cynical 2018, there it is. This is probably my best of that year, but it's very flat. I didn't understand how to use line pressure here. This is a good example of that because theoretically, looking at how this is modeled, I should have had his head have the deepest lines. Meanwhile, over here, back where his like Ba's ear is and his legs be the thinnest lines, as well as give more texture to what's going on in his skin over here. Like some sort of like smudging effects or something of the sort. I think I go back to this honestly and make it a lot better. It actually might be like a stream project we do at some point if you guys are interested. The aura effects, like I like what I did with the actual line. I bet I just chose a brush that just so happened to work very well with this. But I think this is like the tapered or textured brush now that I look at it. But what I did here, the dots, I used the wrong one. There's a brush I know that will work a lot better for that, or I guess more of a spray. But comparatively, this is 2018, right? Let's find like a middle ground, and I'll find 2020. This is probably my best drawing of 2020. If I open this up over here, is this Frieza drawing. Still a lot more line variation, so I can tell I was going for more work over here when it comes to depth and everything here. But as you can see, it wasn't necessarily like I should use more of an opaque brush, because you can see over here it's very, very transparent, which is okay. But also, like, I don't like using solid blacks that much anymore for my line art, just because that means it can be kind of it could be very bold if used correctly, or like in certain areas, but this also makes it look kind of drowned out in some areas, I think. So like over here in the neck, like there's something going on here, but I think it could be more going on here. Like that chin, I can tell I depthed it out a little bit. That face looks sick, thank you. Well, here's, like, I started remodeling it a little back ago on stream, and I think this is going in a much better direction. I haven't finished it yet, because this is just like the base line work, and I have to finish like coloring it and everything, but I think this has like more understanding of what the actual drawing is supposed to be. So like especially the face, I think, has a lot more character. If I go back over here, it's very, very kind of stagnant and flat, I think, versus this one over here has some more going on to it. A little bit more bounce. Like this is like close to like Yamamoto style versus like Shintani style, incidentally. But again, this is one I haven't finished yet, so it's not the best comparison, because you're looking at it as like, oh well, there's not as much going on the neck over here, for example. But that'd be fixed later on. I think I did draw with black line again, which kind of sucks, but oh well. I could probably fix that. But anyway, that's 2020. What I wanted to bounce to was 2025 last year. Good improvements, thank you. Just because I think there's a lot more I managed to do over here. So for example, this is an Aztec warrior study I did. If you zoom in, there's a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes. Like over here, I didn't fill in some of this stuff over here, but once you zoom out, I think the package itself is pretty well done in terms of shading and stuff like that. I could use a little bit more shading on the legs. It's kind of flat over here, but the actual focus area right over here, I think came out pretty well. King Kong, this one was a fun one. This one I tried, this is like one of my first drawings I did with like just like water brush colors. So a little messy in some areas. Like I'm looking at that tooth right there and it's a little messed up, but otherwise like not too bad. I feel like I'm missing a big one over here. Chainsaw Man. This one came out okay. Notably, these are all like for the weekly drawing challenge I've been doing, and they need a little bit more time in the oven for the most part, but like little things like adding texture here and there, like making him look like he has like a piss stain on his shirt. Like, I don't know, it helps a little bit to give a little bit more life. But there's a lot of, I think this drawing's main downfall is like all the negative space I have going on over here, for example. Probably could have found some way to make it a little bit more interesting around those areas. This one is, oops, I opened it up on the wrong thing. This one is Cell. I like the line art, and this one I didn't go full black on because I can see the transparency in the eyes. But I think if I had a little bit more time with this one, I would have corrected the face a little bit more. It seems like it's slanted a little bit more towards the left. So it should have either been, like, there's just a slight slant that needs to be corrected. It probably could have been done with a liquefied tool if I knew it existed back then. But I think my favorite drawings so far have been from this year, actually. So the Xenomorph I did, I liked a lot. I like the Xenomorph a lot, honestly. I think there's a lot of to it. This chest area was the main thing I needed to have fixed. I didn't finish it at that point, but what I managed to do with the tail over here, I think is a good example of where I needed to highlight things. I think I need to put a little bit of that highlight in the head now that I see it, because I put a little bit of like a almost greenish shade on there just to give it a little bit more depth, because a little bit like just solid blue color is gonna be a little bit flat. Tip in Clip Studio, in the blur settings. Oh yeah. No, this is on purpose. Well, for the most part anyway, because I like the way some of those harsh edges look. So hold on, for example. I need to download this one real quick, actually. Ultron. This Ultron one might be my favorite so far. There we go. So this one has a good combination of both, like, understanding both the solid colors as well as like the soft shading. So as you can see, I love my noise. I like the noise, the effect noise has on these things, like the impact it has over here. But like there's lines over here that give it a little bit more depth. There's some shading techniques that give it a little more depth, like this is just a general blue that I put like a glow dodge on, I think. Could have see like there's a little mistakes over here too that I could have corrected, like just take a little bit off right there. I like that grain texture you have on it, like the xenomorph. Yeah, it's just a noise filter. That's all it is. But I think it also comes up pretty well. It just gives it a little bit more life, because otherwise your colors can look really flat. It's an easy way to just give things a little bit more texture. So I've been implementing that a lot more, and I'll probably implement it in this Godzilla one too, honestly. Oh, I just noticed I forgot the line art on his chin. That's funny. Oh well. It still looks like it has that same sort of depth to it for the most part. Yeah. That's where we go. So this is, 2020, pretty decent to like this we're at right now. This is the skill level we're at right now. And again, this is like a couple of years of me not drawing. I usually have gradient and the manga paper texture I have. Oh, that's a good idea. We'll try noise filters too someday. Thanks for inspiration. Absolutely. No, it's always good to share these tips, because artist tips can always go a long way in just making other people's lives when it comes to some of this stuff a little easier. So like I'll be curious to see what your Zawaldo looks like. I assume you're gonna paint it and everything, because I saw your like initially done sketch or your line art. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but nonetheless, like it's good to have people to bounce ideas off of. So that's what we got going on, We're getting back in the drawing game, and I've been watching a lot of more of Mark Brunette's videos to kind of just get better at some things, like not even like drawing itself necessarily, but I'm just noticing over here this could be a little bit more like that, honestly. But like, for example, I think he mentioned in some video that it's better to have like 80% done drawings versus 100% done drawings. That's kind of what I've been leaning towards, because it helps me kind of like, the important part about doing what I'm doing right now is I'm studying these things, and so what I'm seeing right now is how these shapes interplay with the plane I'm trying to put them on. So say, for example, I just notice that should be slanted over here because my face is more angled this way. So it's like small things like that you can catch on to and help you out. And just go to town, man. It's cool. It's cool stuff. I like drawing. It's fun. Do you have any more drawings? I think you shared a page with me at one point, Gaming Hub, and I'd love to see your drawings. One of these days, what I want to do on stream, once I get a little better, is take like viewer OCs and draw them in my art style, or like redraw them as I would. So say, for example, we give them like my hint of like character inspiration or character design or something to that effect. I think that'd be fun. With Zawaldo, I am planning to learn how to paint metallic surfaces and light reflections off of said surfaces. The world's a good way to start. I'm not going for a Rocky in terms of posing, but mostly trying to understand his stuff. Ah, okay. That's fair. So, what I've learned, I just pulled up the Ultron one. I'll pull it back up again just to give you like some hints that helped me in that. Because I think, oh, cool. Can collab if you want to. Bet. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think my strongest parts of this Ultron drawing are right here in like that abdomen area right here. So like having harsh edges that then have soft ones in them, I found help a lot. Because like it's like reflective, but you can tell there's like a harsh edge there. It's kind of, I don't know. I think it's the strongest part of this drawing, IMO, personally. Speaking of strongest things, I usually had the hardest time drawing hands. I think this hand came out pretty okay. I think the shading could have used a little bit more work because it kind of blends into the background. But otherwise, I don't think too shabby. But I definitely recommend like looking at your harsh edges and then how I forgot to put like a highlight here, for example. But looking how those harsh edges can then blend into other things. My hand game has also gone up. Pause. I'm gonna have to do like a stream eventually of just practicing hands, because like my hands before. Let me see if I can find a good example of like my hands before. I just have a drawing full of my, or excuse me, a folder full of my drawings. I never used to draw hands. Always hide my hands. Always. And it was such a mistake because the more you practice, the better you get at them. Here's another Broly. This one was referenced, so it's not too bad. Again, very smooth. I think that's the biggest problem, is very smooth. I linked to you some of Yuya Takahashi's hand videos. I think I've seen some of them, but by all means, go ahead. He has a YouTube channel where he's also put up practice videos using Dragon Ball. Bet. Because like, you know what I've been learning a lot, because I've been making a video on My Hero Academia, but Horikoshi's hands are like amazing, and those are like one of the best things I've been using to like inspire that. Oh yeah, okay, so here's a good example of a hand I don't like. This cloud drawing I did a while back, like those are all like super thin, langly. Like that thumb makes no. Is that his thumb? Yeah, that thumb makes no sense. It's so thin. Also, his body perspective doesn't make much sense. He's like bending backward over here. He's like arching his back, yet his pelvis is also arching in this direction. So it's like a disconnect over here, like directly like where his abdomen meets his pelvis. So that doesn't really work. I should have done like an action line over here to kind of control that. And his hand over here is just flat out very flat. And I see what I was trying to do here, but also very flat. What's another good example? Let's see. 2021. Just a bunch of meme drawings. I'm gonna throw this one up here because it's funny. For those of you who have watched the Dragon Ball video, some people have caught on to it. A lot more than I expected, honestly. But in that video, I redrew Super Saiyan 5 Goku to have these fucking Yeezys. Only a handful of people noticed, and I figured I'd bring this up over here just in case you wanted to go back to it and catch on to that, because I thought it was kind of funny. Hirikoshi is very good at making his characters 3D, like Koshimoto more, especially his perspective. Kishimoto, sorry. Though above all, nothing beats Toriyama, especially with his Dragon Quest artwork is so good. But like, this is an example of a Horikoshi or Horikoshi drawing. I keep on saying Hirikoshi just because I think I like My Hero, but Horikoshi. Like this hand is unfucking believable. Look at that shit, dude. I want to be on that level. And it's very clear how he does it. It's just mastery of shapes, because I can see like how he modeled it, like over here with the thumb and everything. But like this shading in the middle, like this communicates narratively. That depth is so good. And like this is what I was talking about with my Broly drawing before. Notice how like thin the light work is over, or the line art is over here, and how much thicker it gets once you get to the arm, and then it gets like chaotic almost with the fingers. It extends like this very sort of visual chaos kind of thing while exuding depth. It's very, very good. It's very, very good. Again, that's the level I want to be at. I need to get back to this Godzilla drawing. We're just talking about drawing and shit, which is not a problem. Just not a problem. Talking about drawing instead of actually drawing. My mastery, talking about things instead of actually doing it. Yeah, but as I mentioned before, this is all for a purpose. All this drawing and all this studying. I need to get back to gesture drawing, for the love of God, but I need to make sure that I am prepared. The idea is to have a comic out by the end of this year of 2026. And in order to do that, I need to get good at drawing, son. I think I'm gonna hire an illustrator anyway, but like if I can at least basically communicate and display the art I'm trying to go for, that'll go a long way in making things the way that I want them to be. Because it could be such a bad idea to have like Best Way to Start is draw cities, the toughest of all. Holy shit. Yeah. Cityscapes I've done before. Funny enough, with the Godzilla drawing I did like a decade ago, and it got thrown away. I'm so upset. It got thrown away by my art teacher by accident. I remember I spent like dozens upon dozens of hours on that drawing, because like it was a shot of Godzilla 2014 is maybe like one of my best drawings ever, honestly. So disappointing that got thrown away, because it had like the city, it had him, like every single scale was drawn. It was fucking crazy, just because it was like our end of year graduation project, and I was just like going at it. I was just like, we had all the time in the world, because we like started from like almost the beginning of the year, so I was just going at it and going at it and going at it. It was so good. I remember it was so good. Oh, in my memory it was very good. I don't know how much it survives the test of time now, but I bet it was good. I bet it still would be considered very good. Versus like now I'm just trying to get like the rough idea of a scale versus actually drawing it, just because drawing each individual scale would be kind of pointless. That's one thing I've learned in my art journey, is getting the details like 100% down is never as important as it really looks to be, just because implied detail does most of the heavy lifting, when you can kind of mislead a viewer's eye to believe that there's detail when there really isn't. Just kind of like the perception of like, oh, my brain will fill in what's supposed to be there. When you can do that, it helps a ton. Helps a ton. This tour box is also helping a ton. Saves me a shit ton of time. Should probably not start drawing the teeth just yet. That I see what I'm doing. Let's see. So this comes down pretty angled, honestly. Let me go ahead and draw on the eye, because that's bothering the fuck out of me. Now, I don't know if you caught the question, Gaming Hub. How are you feeling about new Dragon Ball? I've seen some interesting opinions. That seems a little weird. I've seen some interesting opinions on it. No. More like over here. Oops. What did I do? It's supposed to be at 60. There we go. Yeah, we'll live with it. Give him in. We'll type it out. Have a lot to share. Bet. He's been typing out this whole time. So this is, let me sharpen that out a little bit, because it actually protrudes a bit and then gives us a little bit more over here. This actually has a little bit of a, hello? There we go. There we go. Okay, I was like, what the fuck? gives a little. And this over here actually starts like something around this ballpark. It's a pretty straight line. Actually, it curves a little bit. This definitely curves. I think we can extend it out to like right over here. Considering that curve, maybe not that much. Something like that. We can work with that. And then it kind of does a weird thing over here, so that's why I'm having a hard time fully going about it the way I want to. That's fine. We can fix that. So say, for example, over here, I need to actually fix some sheesh. It's more of that. But we got some spikes going on over here, and we don't have to be too crazy with them right now, but just give them the implication so I remember that they're supposed to be there. And then something like this. Spike, 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 and it starts petering out a little bit. Actually, let me get the implication of it first, because otherwise I'm going to mess this up. I can already feel it. Actually, I can already see it, because it does a little bit of this. Oh, hold on. So this starts doing one of these. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that looks correct to me. So that means this would be starting to like dig in almost. Oh, here we go. All right. I'll get that in just a second. I'm going to fix this real quick before I forget. I don't know what this track is, but I like it. Slightly too slanted. Still slightly too slanted. All right, to start things off, I am happy that Moro is finally happening and that we are catching up to the manga. My only concern is the time slot. The time slot on which the anime will air, as I want it to air somewhere on Friday and not a weekend in prime time, so they can get away from censorships like One Piece. I feel like it will be split into cores, and that will take its time to flesh things out. I am excited to see what the changes and additions Toriyama has brought to the story. People were bitching and complaining that Toyotaro wasn't mentioned when they didn't realize that any product of Dragon Ball will have the OG's name as his, and that it brings in a good amount of viewership. Toyotaro is still credited for the manga, so I don't see any issues in terms of the Beerus retelling. I'm actually fine with it. It's a good opportunity to actually fix the issues of the anime as it is and bring in a new audience for Moro and subsequent product. Okay, so I can pretty much get on board with everything you just said. So the way I see it is, like, I think that as bizarre as it is to say, I am fine with the doing again of Beerus. I think Battle of Gods is such a good movie that it's like such a shame that we had to remake it in the first place. But Super's interpretation of Battle of Gods was so bad that it's almost warranted. However, hold on. I saw Totally Not Mark's video kind of showing like, oh, those are pretty much the same composite shots as the original, just with much more added detail and stuff like that. So I wouldn't expect there to be too many changes to the story. Although I think one thing they're going to retcon is Beerus saying, oh, that was me at 75% or whatever he says. I think there's going to be like, oh, I used up like 5% of my power to make it make sense for when like Ultra Ego is unveiled, because otherwise you're just like, dude, this dude's kicking Vegeta's ass for no fucking reason right now. I think that's one of the main things they're going to retcon, and one of the main reasons they're doing it, honestly, because it's just like so awkward now in the fact that they already like said, oh, this is how strong he is supposed to be in an ad. Oh, hilarious. I'll wait for a second then. I'll give it a minute before I say more. Yeah, please, if you could repeat, I'm back. Oh, I was saying that, like, I was watching What's-His-Face, Totally Not Mark's video, and saw the composite shots from Super. I got stuck in a monkey horror ad. I was seeing that, like, the composite shots are the exact same from Super. Just a matter of, like, the way they changed to the way they look and everything. But, like, the actual, like, drawings themselves and everything are pretty close, if not, like, identical. That said, like, I think there's going to change a few things in the story with that, aside from like the actual visual shots looking a little bit more appealing. So say, for example, Beerus being at like 75% of the story makes no sense when you go down the line, like retroactively. That makes no sense. So I think they're gonna retcon that into being like, oh, Beerus actually used like 2% of his power, he's actually so much more stronger, haha hee hee. We'll see if that actually happens or not. But that's what I'm predicting over here. I think this is one of the main reasons they want to go back to Beerus. I assume they're going to do the rest of Dragon Ball Super as well. Although I don't know if it's warranted. It's kind of bizarre because like once you get to... The weird one's going to be the Tournament of Power. Are we talking super power level? Somewhat. How's it going, Emil? It's going to be so weird once we get to the battle... not the Battle of Gods. I think... Resurrection F warrants a redo because I don't think it's good in the movie or in Super. Universe 6 could be done better. Goku Black can for sure be done a lot better. God, I hope they change the ending to that shit. Or at least make it closer to the manga, because the manga's ending is at least a little bit more... better, I guess. It's not very good still, but it's like, it's doable. At least like there's moments in there that feel... more corrective. I talk about it in my Super review where I like the manga's interpretation of like Goku more and everything, but yeah. Yes, they'll keep Yamamuro for keeping the consistency and shots to be composited in his style. I also feel this retelling is a good opportunity to bring in elements from Daima to Super. It may also lead to mysteries regarding Moro's origins for if he too is from the demon realm he's given. Yeah. If they want to bring in Daima, which I have a feeling, honestly, that they won't. They could, but I don't see it. I don't know. I feel like they kind of want to leave Daima to be its own thing, but we'll see if they decide to tack it on or not. But like could you imagine if like instead of angry Vegeta when Bulma gets slapped turns into from like instead of like a Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 4? Like that'd just be silly, huh? But it is possible. It is possible. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what exactly the direction is that they want to take it in. It'll be a waste if they leave it as is. That is the thing too, because you could just leave it as a side story, but it would just kind of be a waste, wouldn't it? At the same time, then you have to introduce elements like the third eye into Super, I suppose, which you could give to Moro, but I don't know if I really want to change Moro's story too much, because I think it is the best arc in Dragon Ball Super right now. Now that this is going on, I'll have to make a video on Granola. I already made the video on Moro like years ago, and I've always wanted to tackle the Granola arc, because I think it's actually one of the lesser understood arcs in the series, because a lot of people don't like it, but I think they just don't understand it. No, Third Eye being left behind for now is aight. But then where do you introduce it? I think that's gonna be really weird. I think one of my big issues with the series was the inconsistency of how strong people were. Yeah, the power scaling is nonsensical for sure. Of how strong people were. I mean, DB has never been good with that, but Super is like really, really bad. No, that's 100% true. I don't think there's anyone who could even like slightly fight against that, because it's just a mess with that, honestly. Like, it's just nonsensical how like Kaba is able to catch up with Super Saiyan Vegeta and all this shit. Like, God infused Super Saiyan Vegeta, by the way. Like, Vegeta should be pummeling his ass to the ground. This is why the existence of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta versus Kaba exists, because super power scaling is so whack. Like, if we were to trust super power scaling, Kaba at base form is stronger than Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which is fucking obscene. Like, that's insanity, isn't it? Like, why would anybody in their right mind let that happen? But hey, here we are. Third Eye can be given its own content of previous Demon Kings, and then probably during or after the Black Frieza arc. Possibly. I'm very curious to see where the Black Frieza stuff goes, and God, it upsets me thinking that we won't see anything Black Frieza related until like probably like 2028 or 2029. Just because the Moro arc is a pretty lengthy arc. I can't imagine. Supposedly it's supposed to start, what, next year? Like, if we're estimating times more or less. This could be a little deeper. Something like that, you know, like a rough time estimate. Like, definitely not a for sure thing, but presumably Beerus is gonna be the end of this year. So like at best, I think the rumor is like 6 episodes for that, which would mean that we're looking at something in the ballpark of like, I don't know, spring, fall, or maybe summer of 2026 for Beerus, for Galactic Patrol. But apparently still in the very early stages, so who knows? It's interesting. I'll have to make like a video about it on my second channel, just talking about how that's all looking in the situation, because it's interesting to talk about. I think. I don't know what you guys feel, but I'm cautiously optimistic about it, because I think Toei has all the tools to make it very good and interesting. But they also had all the tools to make it interesting the first time around, and they didn't. So we'll have to see how it goes. And I'm putting my faith in them, because I thought Daima was good. I don't know what you guys thought about Daima. I thought Daima was good. I see mixed opinions on it, mostly from people who haven't watched it. Oh, by the way, I just finished Attack on Titan yesterday, so I'm gonna watch your video. Oh, hell yeah, man! I just rewatched that video. I think it's not my best video, but I think it's just because I don't like doing retrospectives as much anymore, and that's. I'm working on a My Hero video right now, and I think it's gonna be the last kind of like review retrospective-esque video I'm gonna do, at least for a while. I'm gonna start tackling some more kind of different kind of subjects here soon, I think, because I think it gets a little bit more interesting. But let me know what you think, because if you like it, that's sweet. I think apologies again for anybody who was coming from that video, because I know I mispronounced a ton of names in that shit, but it is what it is. It's already out. I can't really fix it. Yeah, the only option is to take it down, which, considering all the work that went into it, which was not, unfortunately, looking up the names. Also, when it comes to Granola, please clear this misconception about Super Bardock. People think he is a good guy when they... No, he's not. Hold on, we'll get to that. And they don't understand or remember that in the Jocko extra story DB Minus... Oh my god, we're going to talk about Dragon Ball Minus. The first page itself... and in Granola had him enjoying conquering and fighting alongside his Saiyans while committing genocide. He took pity on Granola because he remembered his family. And yeah, no, Granola was like a special case. And I think it's actually one of the weakest aspects of that story is the whole Bardock thing, because the emotional connection of Goku being like, oh, that was my dad, or that kind of idea is like, that's neat. But I think we should just leave, for the most part, Bardock being the savage that occasionally has a heart, because in Dragon Ball Super Broly, when he's like, I don't know, I want to protect my son, it seems out of place. Like, frankly, I still think the Bardock special is the best interpretation of Bardock, because it feels more unique as opposed to Superman-esque. Like, it feels very, very Superman-esque in Dragon Ball Super Broly, IMO. It's the same with Bardock from Z, where he's shown to be a tough guy, but he also yeah. It's like a different situation where he's like it's more like he understands the bond he's making, whether he actually cares about them or not. But like, you know, 100% guaranteed Bardock special was goated. Yeah, no, it's hard to debate that that's the best interpretation of him, I think. I'm sure some people can disagree. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong if you like Super Broly more or anything. Super Broly's Bardock, but I don't think it makes much sense for the character and what they're supposed to be. Because, like, the whole idea is that the Saiyans were, like, a ruthless, very heartless race of people who were out here to conquer. And we've been slowly taking that away over the years, and I think it's not a good call. I think like that takes away from Vegeta's story, for example, where he went from being this ruthless, relentless warrior who only cared about the skin on his back and his improvement to being like, oh wait, I actually care about things over here. Like it's like why the My Bulma moment is so good, you know? If he's just like, oh, actually I was a good guy anyway from this very beginning, it's like, oh well, it's not as heartfelt anymore now, is it? You know, it's just like, well, shit. Well, what was the point of that? We were taking away development from characters that have such good development. I think it's mostly on like Vegeta's end where that hurts a lot when you do that kind of thing, like retroactively add these niceties to them that they're not supposed to have, that they weren't supposed to have, I should say. On the bright side, this Godzilla is getting somewhere. I think we're getting somewhere with this. Thank God. Saiyans were a class-based race, and they had it coming from Frieza, and why Vegeta himself didn't care about his fellow people, but what Frieza did to him hurt his pride as a Saiyan. And it's the same with Bardock, wanting Goku to escape the fate of being judged in a class-based society, and he did it in his first encounter with Vegeta. There we go. There we go. I always hate people when I saw a comment. I hope this person isn't reading, but I saw a comment, I think, on my NHK video, which is one of my favorite videos, and somebody said something along the lines of like, your media literacy skills are so good. And I'm like, it's not about media literacy. Like, people, you know, when people make fun of other people who don't understand a story, like on TikTok or on Twitter, they'll be like, oh, the media literacy devil died for this or some shit like that, you know? And I'm just over here like, man, that's not what it's about. It's about interpretation, IMO, you know? You can interpret it differently from what the creator might have thought, but there's no real way to say like, oh, you interpreted it wrong. Like, if you take something away from it that's positive, like that's what was right, I think, personally. It's looking good. Thank you. Where he told the Saiyan Prince that even a low class can surpass the elite with hard work. Bam! Bam! There it is. There it is. The whole point of Dragon Ball, hard work pays off. You can always surpass your own limits. Don't let words be what cement your legacy, so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. I'm gonna give you a little bit more darker lines because I like to be able to see what's going on here. Which Godzilla design is your favorite? That's a good question. Fuck. I always lean towards Heisei. I love -1's interpretation. It's like a good mix of Heisei and like a modern interpretation of Heisei, I should say. So I love -1. Shin Godzilla is its own unique thing that looks kind of fantastic as well for the design concept and language you're going for. It's pretty much just Tumor Godzilla, right? But it speaks a lot to what it is. I could take or leave Showa. I mean, Showa is just iconic, but it's not like my favorite necessarily. Millennium has its own flair that I like a lot. It's very much like more lizard-esque. Legendaries, I think, is okay. I think it leans a little bit too much towards realistic and then slanting away from that recently and trying to add a little bit more goofier aspects to it. So it's like a thinner and longer spikes and all this shit. It's making it a little bit more characterized and stylistic that I think is interesting in a way that it needed to give more personality. I think it was right to do it the way they did. In terms of like the first one being more realistic and then just like deviating off of that eventually with time. But if I had to guess which one was my favorite, like this one right now is more bit geared off of the legendary one, but I told Gaming Hub UK this is more legendary comics Godzilla, so it has that inspiration is what we're kind of going for. So that's why I love Super Bardock. He is as bad as his people, but he also didn't let the classism stop him from achieving what he did. Plus his marriage with Gine, actually helped him instinctively spare Granola, but also learn about Frieza's potential plan and what led to his role in Minus/Broly. Then there is the fact that in the gas fight, he showed how he kept an empty mind and only focused on victory, something that helped Goku with you. I have to reread it because I recall not being the biggest fan of that gas and Bardock fight, but maybe I'll change my mind upon I haven't read it in years, so it could be that I was missing an aspect or just overlooked something, you know, one of those ideas. But I'll have to see because I honestly don't recall what my full opinions are on it. I'm gonna make a video on it. I think now is a good time to do it because I was waiting for like the super revival before I made that video because I knew it was coming, and now it's here. I've always loved Heisei because my intro to Godzilla was the Destroy All Monsters Melee video game. Oh, that's sick. And he's one of the characters you get. Yeah, that's always sick. That's always good. But I'm glad that I'm able to share this perspective too, But I'm glad that I'm able to share this perspective too, as if this makes into your vid. I hope people can actually give this story a chance and go on and further research into the story. As it's not about media literacy, but more so about, yes, thank you. It's never about media literacy, IMO. It's always been about what you take away from the story and how meaningful that is, you know? I think there's a lot more to it than just being like, my idea is better than yours, or my interpretation is better than yours. It's still an interpretation. That's why here's a fun fact about Justin, because a lot of my reviews have been taken down by myself. I used to be very like objective based criticism, so like, oh, the technicals of this, oh, and the cinematography, oh, and the score. And I found that to be very, very boring. Here's why. Because everyone can say the same objective level thing, right? But what you can't make, what you can make unique is a subjective take. A subjective opinion, I think, is always gonna be the most interesting thing to take away, because that's something only you can give, and that's something that nobody else can even attempt to replicate, you know? As much as you want to be somebody else, you can't. Like, you can never fully be someone else's opinion. It's just impossible. So be more subjective, people. Stop worrying about objectivity. It's better that way, IMO. If you're reading it and are on Discord, do let me know. I'd be happy to join. Bet. Fuck. I'll probably. So here's the idea. I'm pretty close to being done with this My Hero video. I think I'll be done maybe next week or two. I'm thinking subjectivity is dangerous on the internet, though. I don't care. I really don't care. And let me tell you why. Actually, let me finish my first thought first. So the thing with oh no, I was going back to the other train of thought. I'm finishing this My Hero video. It should be done the next week or two. I want to move on onto one of two things. I'm either going to work on a Perfect Blue video or a Reze video. I think something about, I just sat down the other day, like a week ago, and just listened to the Reze Arc soundtrack, and it just kind of inspired me to want to write something about it. And I think I might make something on there. Same with, I watched Perfect Blue like 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, damn, this is so good. There's a lot of talk about here that I think actually leans into what I was going to say. I think there is objectively no objective take on Perfect Blue, because Perfect Blue is something that is literally based around personality, identity disorder, identity crisis. Like, it is talking about these things in a way that you cannot interpret objectively. That's the whole point of the movie, is that you can't understand it, is that there is no correct way to take in that movie, because it is you've heard of like the not the unfaithful, what's it called, like the narrator that is untrustworthy. I can't find the word right now. It's like the I more or less what I'm trying to say. That's like a untrustworthy narrative. You can't trust what your eyes are seeing, what you're hearing. You can't trust any of it. So it has to be subjective. What did you take away from it? That is what you have to do with Perfect Blue. That's what you have to do. You can't look at that movie and be like, oh yeah, no, this is for sure what this meant. You can't. You can't fucking do that. It's meant to not do that. It's literally meant to confuse you and bombard your senses with like just complete overload. So like you can't do that. And I think people need to be more subjective in their takes, because fuck what other people think. Frankly, I'm gonna just flat out say, fuck what other people think about like subjectivity and how wrong that can be, because objectivity is boring. Who the fuck cares? Unless you are like studying and like taking a course on how to do this and that, like, oh, this animation cell was drawn with this perspective and scanned from this, and that's why it looks so beautiful. Awesome, that's objective. Great, I love it. But that doesn't tell me anything about the film and the narrative and the themes and the elements going into this, the characters, the backstory, what the director, the writer were thinking when they were making this. That's what I want to know, man. That's what I want. I want to hear what you thought about the movie. That's like, who the fuck is going out of their way and being like to the theater, like, what did this movie do in terms of money and box office? Like, no one's doing that. Everyone's asking their friend, what do you think about the movie? What do you think about that? How did you feel? What did it do for you? Like, you know what I mean? It might not be the best analogy, but that's literally what I'm thinking over here. Like, there's so much beauty in the eye beholder and all that. Yeah, man. I've said this time and time again. That's why I took all those reviews down, because they were so like objectively based, and I thought, just after rewatching them when I started going into the more subjective takes, just so boring. That's why I like going into like theoreticals and analysis of themes and stuff like that in my videos, because I think it's always been about the takeaways of what you watch and read, and it's art. It's art. I just read the word art. I think we should emphasize objectivity, and art is boring and unnecessary. Art is not meant to be objective unless, I mean, when we're talking about let's take this drawing for example. I need a pencil to make a drawing, or it's some sort of tool to make a drawing. Is, I guess, for the most part correct. I'm sure somebody would argue otherwise, and you could probably find an argument against it. But whatever. Like, but the subjective is, what does this make you feel? Why does it make you feel that way? Is it horrifying you? Is it, you know, like that kind of idea? That's what I'm looking for. But otherwise, like, yeah, I went on a rant about objectivity in art and why I think it's lame. Maybe this would be, I keep on wanting to use clips from my streams on the second channel, and this might be a good one, because I got like two, like my drawing history, and then my ideas on objectivity in art and why it's lame. Like, there are certain channels I used to watch long ago, names that shall not be named, that I just find fucking boring beyond belief now, because I think that their takes on things are just so uninteresting and so vapid. Like, it's clear that those are the kind of people that will sit all day, like, never really making anything and just like criticizing shit that really doesn't need to be criticized in the way that they are. Like, it was never meant to be. Like, a good example, I think, is like maybe I could say a few directors, but like, there's very few directors that make a movie with the idea of like, I want to make a 5-star movie. Like, that's very, very uncommon. I think we can all agree, right? Like, most people are making a movie because, like, I want to tell this story. I want to say something about this. You know, like, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. No one's out here, most people are not out here being like, I want to make a 5-star movie. Because that's vapid and hollow and boring, and it's not what most people want to see. Nobody sees a poster like, oh, this director is trying to make a 5-star movie. I gotta see this shit. and if you do, it usually doesn't go well. Yeah. That's usually my least favorite kind of movie too, when I can tell like this is Oscar bait kind of idea, you know? Like this is very hollow and senseless and doesn't really have much for thematics or like resonance or anything like that. Like it feels dehumanized, it feels sanitized, if you like, you know, that kind of idea. If that is what your art is giving, you've lost me. Again, I won't name any. I might name some directors, kind of crudely, but that is. I'll say like the opinions I have on those are very much subjective, so it'd be nothing definitive or anything like that. I haven't gone on a rant like that in a minute. Jesus Christ. That's pretty good, huh? Can't wait for the new Michael Jackson movie. Saw the new poster and it looks sick. Oh, it's a Michael Jackson movie? As much as people don't like those like docudramas or whatever you call them, for example, I like Rocket Man a good bit. So I'll probably check out like a Michael Jackson movie. Honestly, I tend not to keep track of many directors. I like Peter Jackson though. He usually feels pretty genuine. I can agree with that. I haven't watched too much Peter Jackson, but like I can tell you, like that man is trying to make a movie that he wants to make. He's trying to tell a story. It's his nephew playing him, Jafar Jackson. Jesus. Oh, actually, I think I did hear about this. Now I think about it. That's sick. Hopefully it goes well. Because I feel like projects like those always get like stuck in production hell. And it might have been, I don't know. Like, so I haven't been keeping track of it, but I think I do know what you're talking about, actually. You know what I was gonna watch this weekend? I was gonna go fucking watch the Iron Lung, but I think I mentioned this earlier on the stream. It's been ugly outside in terms of like snow, so I haven't gotten the chance to. But I was curious to watch it. So I was anything labeled like a YouTuber movie, I'm like, I gotta see this shit. I didn't watch Shelby Oaks just yet, but that's another one I plan to watch here. Well, I've gotten very little progress. That's only been an hour and a half, so maybe not too bad. I'm a very, very slow drawer, unfortunately. This is too low. Ah, shit. I forgot that's what that does. This needs to be higher. I saw this vid from Kurosawa talking about how if you write, you'll someday actually be a writer instead of thinking about 10 things, and why I also agree with the objectivity rant. Though I must say, when it comes to a fact and story, it has to be objective when talking about it as it is with Dragon Ball and its lore. I'm not sure if I'm picking up what you're saying. Because, I mean, let's not like throw objectivity out the window either, right? Like you need, like I said, you'll need some sort of art medium to make a drawing, a painting. You'll need something there, like objectively you do. And it's hard to debate that. But I think again, what you take away is much more important and interesting than the actual objectivity part of it. Or like objectively, no, I can't even say that. Like I was gonna say objectively if you need a story, but like I think like Terrence Malick would have something to say about that, you know? Like you don't really, everything you think you need, you probably don't need. Oh shit, that's the wrong thing. thick boy. Oh, I see. I done did messed up. That's what's happening here. Just looking at the wrong thing. Not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. I like how this is coming out so far. Although I need to add some more to the face. The face is going to be the main thing I go on here. I think that's where I want to put the most detail. So that's going to be the main thing that takes up my time on this drawing, I think. I'll rephrase my thought. What I meant to say was, in a rant about how, in reviewing it, is mostly down to the vision and not the 10 things in the scene that makes it objective than what the story is trying to portray. So I use Kurosawa as an example to state the same, but I feel it wasn't fully explained and understandably a poor take. No. I see what you're saying now. Yeah, no. Again, there's always something to add on to and take away in terms of objectivity. So it's never like nothing is. Here's another thing. Nothing is black and white. Just about nothing is black and white. So that's why, I mean, that's partially why I have the take on subjectivity that I do, because you could argue for things that are objective not being as objective as they are. There's a lot of like that kind of thing. I think I need more like here. And then there we go. Excuse me. Kind of forgot I was on stream for a second. Just went for it full force. It's gonna be a whole day drawing. I can feel it. Oh, yeah. God, I could use a snack right now. Been hungry as hell because the snow has meant that I don't have access to food. Let me see how DoorDash is looking. Looks like most things are closed. Oh, okay. Things are open again. Ooh, I could go for a pizza, honestly. Let's see. I'm stacking on a Ben & Jerry's. Lucky, man. I could go for some Chinese, maybe. I really want a pizza. I've been on a diet. I've been avoiding carbs. God, does a pizza sound so good right now. Not yet. Not yet. After stream. I think I want to stream for like at least like 3 hours or so. So I'll probably get a snack here in a second. I got like some protein bars or some shit. Man, we're getting nowhere with this. Oh, man. Nourishment. Food. Who knew it could be so good? So why has Vin Diesel? I keep on forgetting he's there. I think I just put that randomly one day when I was doing a Jurassic Park stream or a Jurassic Park Operation Genesis stream. He's just been there since, man. He's disappointed that you haven't gone to the gym today or something. I don't know. What would Vin Diesel judge you for? That sounds about right to me. Well, it makes sense to me. I'm glad. Today I'm feeling like a void of humor. I don't have much else to leech off of with fucking Vin Diesel. He just kind of exists in this nebulous aether that is my stream right now. Forever locked into this hell. I could definitely do some fixing over here in the brow. It's like this side's too short and this one's too long. We'll fix that. The liquefy tool is what I need so fucking badly. Reached the point where I started getting agitated from sitting at my desk at so long. How long have you been drawing for? The stream's going on for, like, in general or the stream? Because in general, a long time, but talking about the stream, about an hour 48. Yeah, in general too. Jeez, my voice is just gone right now. It's just shot. In general, I've been drawing pretty much since like ever. Like since I can remember drawing when I was 5. I just love drawing always. I was showing Gaming Hub earlier that like I was recently getting back into digital drawing because I've been like off the train for a little bit just because life has been busy. So I'm getting more back into it, and it's been challenging but rewarding. I think I've been seeing a lot of results as of lately since I've been like doing like a weekly drawing challenge with one of my coworkers, and it's been helping a ton. Like how earlier I said, like, don't focus too much on the detail, and that's all I'm fucking doing. Like this is, I'll show you my most recent drawing since I showed it earlier on stream. Complete drawing anyway. Not manga. What's this thing called? My drawings. 2026. Oh, I have it downloaded, but I don't have it over here. Okay. This is a drawing of Ultron I did. And this is like an attempt at doing things like barely any line art, like nothing on the outside anyway. So just like the lines where like the depth would show, that kind of idea. So this is, let me show, that's like my most recent one. If I'm going back to like, let's say 2018, actually I showed a drawing of Broly earlier. Let's do that one. No, I opened up on the wrong thing. Like this is my skill level. Sheesh, 8 years ago. That's crazy. So I think there's a respectable degree of difference here. This would be the cover. Well, this actually is. I referenced this. I studied this from the cover of a Marvel comic. So you would be correct, actually. Let's see here. Let's also have like Ridley. Like this is 2018 Justin. Not fantastic. Like the ribcage here is all sorts of fucked up. It's 2019 when I redid that Ridley. 2020? Yes, 2020 is when I redid Ridley. I think there's a much better Ridley. It's actually still a pretty decent drawing. I think there's some corrections I could do over here, but this is like the style I was going for, is like the very angular and everything like that. And now I've actually gone to more rounded, funny enough. But this is actually still like a pretty decent drawing, I think. I could probably twist this around and make it a little better, but what's another good example? The Sailor Moon redraw thing was happening. I dabbled my hand at that. Somebody calling me right now? Oh, jeez, I don't care about you. That was fun. I've been drawing a little bit more for thumbnails. So say, for example, this is a drawing. I didn't show this one off earlier. This is a drawing I did at Moro. This is 2022, I think. It's not too bad of a drawing. Freaking Super Saiyan 5 chopper I used for my Dragon Ball AF video. Hair went crazy. Hair went kind of crazy. 2023. This is Super Saiyan 4 Goku I did. came out okay. They could have fixed a few things and make him a little better. My nose is itchy all of a sudden. Just scratched the hell out of it too. That hurt. Let's see. 2024. This isn't a UI Goku I never finished, but it was coming out. It was coming out all right. I think it's coming out pretty okay. I don't know why I never finished it. I think it's because I just saw this artist on Twitter and I was like, damn, he's coming out so much better than mine, so I might as well just commission him. Yeah, I think that is what happened now that I think about it. And then 2025 is when I got back into drawing. Fully. Like say for example, this is one of my favorite drawings I've ever done, is a stupid thumbnail I did for one of the Pokemon streams. Is Bidoof fighting Arceus. It's so stupid, but I think it's fun. Yeah, I wish I could draw half as good as... Oh, thank you, bro. Never had the patience to learn, unfortunately. Man, there's always time. Because, like, you saw those earlier ones. They were not good. It's just a matter of practice. And I'm not still at a great level, but I've been saying all stream, the whole idea with getting better at drawing is I want to make my own comic here. And it's really the motivating force behind me just drawing and drawing and drawing and... doing, like, right now this is a study. I'm referencing Matt Frank's artwork over here to kind of get an idea of how this should be and what decisions he's making over here. Like these lines I'm like throwing in here, I'm like, why is he doing that? What does that add? And I'm seeing over here it's a lot of implied detail, so I don't need to draw each scale individually. Like it's a very smart tactic to save time on details like that. So there's little things you can learn that help you a ton. Too linear, but we'll fix that later if need be. I forgot to do this. Seeing this, it could be a little more like that, honestly. It's given some life. It's given some personality. How would you rank Legendary's Godzilla movies? Okay. This is actually a thought I did for a video, or a video I was going to do a long time ago, and I never ended up doing it. Actually, I have another idea that I plan to do with the Legendary movies I think is going to be a lot more interesting. But since you asked, I assume we're excluding Skull Island, because I think Skull Island's the best Legendary MonsterVerse movie. But the Godzilla movies... What do I put, I'm trying to think of where I put, what's it called? New Empire, because I'm very lukewarm on New Empire, because I think it was a fine popcorn movie, but I haven't gone back to see it, because I thought it was just kind of whatever. It might be on my bottom, honestly. I'm trying to think. I definitely prefer 2014 to Skull Island, but that's maybe just me. I think 2014, I think there's just so much missed potential that it kind of bothered me. Here, I'll go ahead and tell my idea. If somebody steals it, whatever. It's gonna take me an eon to get to it anyway. But I was planning to make a video where I rewrote the Godzilla movies and to make it into a trilogy, because that was the initial idea they were going to do. I think supposedly ending with Godzilla vs. Kong. So my idea would be have a timeline from Godzilla 2014 to King of the Monsters to versus Kong that would rewrite it in a way that made more sense and felt more thematically reliable. It's more of like a writing project for me, so I can kind of get an idea of like what a writer's head is, and they're kind of the same, like I'm studying essentially. And one of the main things I don't like about 2014, I think the atmosphere is phenomenal. The sense of scale and weight and every step, phenomenal. Thematically and narratively, it's a little weak. I think give Bryan Cranston all the money to be the lead character in that movie, because he is the emotional anchor and deserves to be in more of it by a long shot. Because I think he is like the scene in the room he's being held in is like the best scene in the movie from a character standpoint. And I think you could have had a really strong character moment with him should you just develop on him with that. And unfortunately, they didn't do too much of that. So I think that's where the movie falters a little bit, is that kind of stuff. The action's neat. The Mutos are fine. I don't mind the Mutos. They're cool. I think character action and moments in Skull Island are where its highlights are, and that's why the moment when there's a self-sacrifice that is sabotaged by a skull crawler smacking somebody into a mountain is hilarious. That is a great moment in the movie. And Godzilla 14 unfortunately doesn't have much of that. So I'm looking at it like that's why I prefer Skull Island. But 2014 is still, like, don't get me wrong, I think it's still a very good movie. I actually bought it in 4K like a couple weeks ago, just so I could rewatch it, because the Blu-ray releases and everything are notably undertoned and dark. So like visually, so like you couldn't make out a lot of the action. So I plan to rewatch it with that lens again to see just how good the action is. And hopefully it holds up to the memory I have of it, because I haven't seen that movie since like 2020, I think. But what else was I gonna say? Oh, well, I was ranking them, right? I forgot about that whole aspect of this question. I love Bryan Cranston too, obviously, but hot take, I actually like that they had the balls to kill him off early. See, I think killing him off wasn't a bad idea. I think it was just too early. I think if you laid the emotional groundwork for Aaron Taylor Johnson's character to be like the emotional anchor pivoting from that point, that would have been very good, but they just didn't. So like the rest of the movie doesn't have anything for you to kind of hold on to. He's just kind of like generic military man number 5, carrying the story on his shoulders, and it's not quite as engaging as man whose wife got snuffed out, but for a reason he can't explain, but has been looking for that like obsessively based into looking into what did it and why and how and like unraveling this whole mystery. There's a lot more grip to that. There's a lot more interesting stuff going on there, I think, personally. But anyway, so we got Godzilla 2014, King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, and New Empire, right? We're going to go with those 4 movies. Do I put New Empire last place? New Empire is an interesting one because it's very goofy, and it's where the MonsterVerse feels like it's finally starting to settle into what like a Showa era movie could be for the modern age. I just don't know if it really worked that well for me, because I think we're so far deep into this whole thing that trying to present that now, just I don't know if it feels right anymore. I don't know. My ranking honestly is in order of release. So you would say that in terms of like best to worst or worst to best? That being like Godzilla 2014 is the worst or the best? Best to worst. So Godzilla 14 being the best. Honestly, that might be the case. I'm trying to picture it like Godzilla vs. Kong. I can kind of flip-flop for King of the Monsters. I think King of the Monsters narratively is like one of the weakest movies I've ever seen in general, if I'm being honest. But God, it's like a Godzilla fan rocks. So it's like if I take it from film Justin perspective, that movie kind of sucks. If I'm taking it from Godzilla fan Justin, that movie kind of rocks. Like it's kind of hard to tell where I want to position that one. Yeah, I agree. Godzilla vs. Kong is a toss-up. Every time I watch it, I'm like, this was fine. This is like a movie I could watch again and be pleased by it for the most part. But it's not a gripping movie, you know? It's not something I want to be like, yeah, I need to show my friends this or anything, you know? Like I watched it in 2020, I remember thinking like, I was disappointed by that. And I have a thoughts on video on my channel that like just exudes disappointment, unfortunately, just because like I was waiting for it, and I'd worked so hard on a bunch of videos that I all made in release or in excitement for it, and it just wasn't that good, I think, personally. And New Empire again is just like, if there was something built off of Godzilla vs. Kong, New Empire would have been a lot better of a movie, I think, but unfortunately it was not. So that's more or less what my ranking is just kind of like, I could honestly say they're all kind of a toss-up, especially if you throw in Reiwa era Godzilla from like Japan, then it's just like the MonsterVerse movies just fucking suck. I'm not gonna lie. Because like Shin Godzilla, fucking bomb-ass movie. No pun intended. -1, fucking bomb-ass movie. Like, they're not even comparable. Which one would I rather watch, -1 or Godzilla vs. Kong? The answer is so obvious, right? IMO, for me. But, yeah. That's where I'm leaning. Yeah, Shin -1 and the original are, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Is I love the original, although it's more like I respect and appreciate the original more than I love it. It is a very good movie, don't get me wrong, but I always have a hard time watching the older movies just because you know what's coming up next, and it's just like, oh man, but that shit's so good. I feel like -1 is almost like a better retelling of the original in some cases. I mean, it's fucking crazy. I mean, you know what's crazy? I haven't either, despite having made that that History and Evolution of Godzilla video. And when I made that video, I skimmed through a bunch of movies. So like I technically watched them, but not really. Like I don't really count skimming as watching. So I am missing like a handful of like the Millennium era movies, and I kind of like I watched the Showa era movies, but like barely. Like I was like half paying attention because I was like, this is such a schlock fest. And I've come to recognize and appreciate them more over time. Like when I did my Gamera video, like I fully watched and invested myself into those movies, even though it was kind of painful to do so. But yeah, it's I do need to catch up. I do need to watch all of them at some point. But modern Godzilla is where it's at, brother. It's fun. It's either good or fun, and it's a good thing to be, good and or fun. I like a lot of Heisei era Godzilla as well. I think they're the most like creative and inventive of the franchise for the most part. Honestly, I kind of agree with the respect for the original more than love it, but I mean, I think it's still awesome to watch this. Yeah, no, it's when you watch it and you're just like, man, this is where it all started, and it's crazy that they were able to make that kind of stuff in 1954. Like it's very impressive, and respect goes out to Ishiro Honda for making such a classic tale that has created like minus one Shin would not exist without the original. Like that's like the respect and everything I have for it stems from, of course. So I can still like watch the original Godzilla any day. I always just have a problem with watching older films. I think again, it's just like a me thing. Not to say that they're bad or anything, like nothing of the sort. Just it's a little more challenging when you've seen modern day storytelling. Like people will celebrate Citizen Kane for all its accomplishments, but when I watched Citizen Kane today, I'm like, that was a movie, I guess. You know, I hate to say, but like it doesn't really do much for me, unfortunately. It's because it was drilled into me like it's like the best movie ever made. And I'm just like, oh, that was didn't do much for me. I'm sorry, guys. Damn, I'm still working on this face, brother. I'm gonna be here all day. Oh my god. Did I turn the opacity down? No, I don't think so. I think it's just me having to go back in and yeah. There we go. Oh, I turned the brush size up though. I might just keep this in sketch phase, honestly, because I like how this is coming out. I think this is coming out pretty dang cool. And just like rework the sketch later. I'm gonna head to the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. You know what I haven't done? I usually tweet out or make a post that I'm drawing, so I might as well. I'm gonna do a little of that. Let's see. Always fun to have more people in the chat. I feel IMO. I'm personally so excited for -0. I can't wait to see where that story goes. I don't know where they want to take -1 story, but maybe just take them to like the next war or something. I don't know. It'd be neat to see where they want to take that story. I just have no clue where they'd want to take that story. Although they have, I see a lot of opportunities. I'm gonna erase that line because that line's not supposed to be. That was supposed to be a guide. But I don't need it anymore. -0. Is that even further back or even further fucked up? Well, the idea with -0, right, is like you're already, or -1 is you're already being set back to 0. So we're going negative now. So if I had to guess with a title like that, considering they chose that title for a reason, right? My guess is that they want to do something where this movie ends in like the catastrophe and sets up for a +1. I don't know, Godzilla +1. I don't know, something like that. Is my guess. I think this movie ends in like complete disaster. Is my guess. Just my speculation, personally. Maybe it's a 54 remake. That'd be interesting. I think I don't think I want necessarily a remake because I think -1 is the closest thing we had to like a retelling because it takes place also in World War Japan. Not also because the original takes place after, but like, well, shit. Actually, now that I say that out loud, like it could theoretically it could just be like a retelling of 54, but with -1's Godzilla. That's actually an interesting perspective I didn't consider. It's possible. It's entirely possible. I kind of hope it isn't, but it would be a neat way to take it. I just want to see what, because like the implication we have right now is that with I forget her name, but the girl who has the thing on her neck now, like the implication is like she's like not cursed, but I guess marked for some sort of like assimilation by Godzilla or something, or maybe she turns into fucking Godzilla, who knows. Probably not, because we saw the heart beating at the end, so like that's likely where the story is going to go, but they have a lot of routes they can take it, and that's why I'm interested to see what exactly they plan to do. God, there's so much detail in this shit. Even though there's implied detail, there's so much I had to fill in. We also saw the heart in GM. Yeah, no. I'm glad you brought that up because GMK is one of the movies I was going to mention earlier and I forgot about, but I love GMK. I think it's such an interesting movie in that it's also like a war revenge tale that I don't know. It works differently just because of how it's told. Because it's like normally you have Godzilla fighting Mothra and Ghidorah, or Mothra, so on and so forth, right? Depends on the movie, but the fact that he is the baseline antagonist and purely, and like he is just the spite, the spirit of spite manifested into this ravenous anger, this fucking demonic beast that tramples anything and everything. That looks like just like the incarnation of wrath and anger, and it's sick. I think it's such a shame that we didn't see, because like the beating, it's one of the few times when there's like sequel bait that I think actually works, because the thematic sense of hate will never die in face of a humanity that also further tries to push itself beyond that hate that lingers behind it is so narratively cool. I think it's all so cool. That was the same director. Yes, it was why am I Shusuke Kaneko? No, I forget his name. But yes, it is. Which explains why they're so good. Who's Shusuke Kaneko? But I know that name is from something. Who made that? Gamera movie, not gamers. Gamera movie. Oh, Heisei movies. Director. Oh, I was right. It is Shusuke Kaneko. Yo, I'm so cool. I was like, no, that can't be right. I remember something from my own video. Let's go. I'm a smart boy. I haven't seen those yet. I definitely... Dude, they're so good. If you're going to watch anything, you don't have to watch the show era ones. Those are more just like exactly what you think. There's like, if you watched Gamera, or excuse me, Godzilla, Showa, that's exactly what you're in for. But Gamera Heisei is arguably a step above Heisei Godzilla. Arguably. Don't fight me. Yeah, I sort of assumed. I've seen Gamera the Brave, though, and kind of liked it. Okay, so Gamera the Brave is an interesting one because I like it a lot, too. I'll start with that. But I think I wouldn't have liked it as much as I did had I not watched the other Gamera movies. So it's kind of a legacy sequel, I guess, or something to that effect. Because like it just simply wouldn't have the same effect if it wasn't... It didn't have that history. God, that stutter was crazy. Like the fact that those other movies exist is what elevates it to those heights. IMO. And if you have not watched the other Gamera movies, it's not as quite as fulfilling. There's a lot of little Easter eggs and a lot of little like niceties that the Gamera movie kind of has. It's like there's this happy-go-lucky feeling to the Showa era movies that's reignited. I explained it in my Gamera video, as this feeling of like I got to experience these movies as a kid, and now that I've grown up and watched the Heisei movies and this movie's also out, I can now show this to my kids, and they can experience that same kind of gleeful joy I got from those movies too, and that's a nice feeling. That's kind of where it feels like it cements itself for me as like, oh, this is interesting. As like this is why this exists. I think that's why it's like as strong as it is in my mind, personally. Also, like the last Suitmation film, well, from Gamera and Godzilla anyways. That is true. 2006, 2007? I think it's 2006. As far as I recall, yes, that is the last Suitmation from either of those two. They tried with Shin Godzilla. They tried before they realized, like, this shit's old and dated, and we're just gonna use CG now. And the CG in well, let me start with CG and Shin Godzilla is good, but the Shin Godzilla, or the -1 Godzilla, is absolutely insane. That for $10 million or apparently less, that CG is phenomenal, absolutely incredible. And it's crazy to me how Marvel can have like $100 million budget and not look nearly as good. Just something crazy about that, huh? The CGI legitimately looks like a puppet in some shots. It's crazy. It is. It is, in fact, crazy. Godzilla's fun, eh? CG in the Legendary movies, I've got to. I always state this because it's also very impressive to me, frankly, how good the CG is in many of those movies, especially 2014 CG. I think 2014 CG has a really strong concept. Like I said before, they knew when to use like weight and balance and camera. These are where like the objective parts go back into play, but like they knew how to emphasize that in a way that made Godzilla feel like huge and dynamic and monstrous. Same with the Mutos. It's a very good play. I need to start focusing on somewhere else aside from this head, but I think I'm almost done with the detail I want to put on here. Just gotta throw in like a bit more, and we'll be bing chilling. Oh, this use of implied lines to kind of make that feel a little more depthful in the original work. That's pretty fucking good. Every time I see this, I was like, I need more darkness over here. We're finally gonna get to something that isn't the fucking face. Well, partially. Let's see. Looks like these scales are gonna be pretty easy, thankfully. I lost track of where it was. Shit. That always sucks. I lied, I just saw one more detail I need to add. And then I actually have a little bit of like this going on over here too. Let me go ahead and start adding some darker layers over here. Because it looks like it gets progressively darker over here until it gets to like the bottom of the jaw and levels out. There we go. And then while I'm at it, there's a lot of darkness going on over here. Oy. We're feeling tired now, boys. I said it's gonna be a 3-hour long stream, and I meant it. I don't know what's there anyway. Saw a comment, it was just my bot. Use some liquefy on that, but we'll be good. Got any favorite composers slash musicians? I mean, Shinsuke Kikuchi is always gonna be a big one for being a big Dragon Ball fan. And he also just happens to do a bunch for a bunch of kaiju movies, so it's like in tandem, fantastic. A bunch of Gamera movies, if I recall correctly. So he's a top. He's a top. Aside from that, I can't think of too many. I used to be more into like talking about like that kind of thing, but I kind of dropped off of that and need to pick back up because I feel like I lack respect when I'm doing a review and don't like include like these names, these pivotal names that did like the music and shit like that. So I can't think of any names on the top of my head, but what are some of yours? I'm sure it'll spark up something for me. Make sure I save the shit. I just realized I haven't saved in a while. Or like at all. If something goes wrong with the power, I'm gonna be pissed. Nah, I don't know. John Williams. Well, John Williams, if you're talking about American composers, he is fucking great. I'm more on the regular side of music than compositions for movies and stuff. I have a hard time with those names. Same here. And next, I wish I had a better understanding and could speak more to them, but I unfortunately don't. Not as much as I should. I went to film school for a little bit, so it's like I should have this kind of recognition, but I just fail at it sometimes. Then again, I haven't been in the film scene much recently. I just watch what I want to watch, take it in, study on it if I want to, and buzzing bazoom. I'm sure I have like a playlist of people I really like, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. I missed one over here. Yeah, I definitely have to backlog of shit I gotta watch. Oh, same here, man. I said I was planning to watch a lot more movies from this year, just to kind of get back in the habit. And the weather has decisively said no movies for you. So I'm waiting on the weather to clear up before I clear up. So weather for, I can't speak right now. I'm waiting for the weather to clear up so I can go and watch a movie. Notably, I want to watch Iron Lung. Just because, why not? I think it'd be interesting. Iron Lung? Yeah, the Markiplier movie, baby. And they just want to see, all right, what did the YouTuber do? Interesting. Yeah, I don't really know anything about, but Markiplier is cool. I haven't watched a Markiplier video since like high school, so I can't speak to that. But I don't know. Just seems like something I should go watch, and I want to watch, frankly. Can't tell, I'm a very haphazard drawer who can't decide where he wants to move on to next. I feel like it'd be easiest if I just kept on going with the back spikes, because then I could kind of follow a trajectory, but let's see. Shit. You always have that FNAF connection. Another movie I haven't watched. Well, the sequel, I saw the first. Same. I actually saw the first just because, was it COVID times more or less? And I was like, it's on Peacock. I'll watch that shit. I thought it was awful. Not like horribly awful. It was just like, it wasn't a good movie by any means. It was entertaining enough, but it's just like vapid and kind of fucking stupid. But I mean, what else did I expect out of a Five Nights at Freddy's movie, you know? Like, I'm not gonna ask for an intellectually challenging Markiplier Five Nights at Freddy's movies. I'm pretty sure I said Five Nights at Freddy's, but part of me thinks I said Freddy Got Fingered. So if I did, apologies for rummaging up the memories of that fucking movie. Nah, I agree. Entertaining enough. I do think the FNAF series has been sort of milked to oblivion at this. I think, yeah, it's just such a meme at this point that I can't take it seriously no matter how much I try. The story was fine for like the first 3 games or so. It's funny because like as somebody who never played those games, like I'm fully aware of most of like the lore and shit like that just by osmosis and like how insanely popular those games got. So like it's kind of impossible to ignore. Like one way or another, they will find you. Like if I can't find a joke to land, most of the time my go-tos are either talking about Fortnite or referencing the bite of 87. Like, there's no in between. You will know FNAF. FNAF is overall. FNAF is love. FNAF is true. FNAF is ethereal. FNAF is forever. FNAF is omniscient. Forever. Everlasting was the word I was looking for this entire time. FNAF is everlasting. Apologies, I got some messages from work. Oof, don't remind me. Work early in the morning. I know. I gotta go work in tomorrow at 11 after my week off vacation. I'm not looking forward to it. Very happy. God, I was so productive with this week off I had, and back to, I mean, not unproductivity, but just like not productive in the way that I want to be. Feels bad. Kind of wish I had another week off. Actually, kind of yes, kind of no. I actually had less days working. Is what I need, honestly. If I was working like 2 or 3 days a week, sick. Right now, that is not the case. I'm working like upwards of 60 to 70 hours a week, and I'm tired, brother. That's why I asked for the week off. I'm like, I'm so exhausted. We have another manager trained to stay in our place. I'm like, man, I could really use a week off. No days working wouldn't be too bad. Okay, so the thing with that is I feel like I'd go crazy of doing nothing. Not necessarily doing nothing, because I'd be working on stuff, but I feel like I need some sort of outlet to just like get out. Maybe it doesn't have to be work, but I don't know. I feel like work does keep me slightly sane in some way as well. It's both a blessing and a curse. IMO. $60 hours a week, dude. I'm not on that level. I basically have my 4-hour work week. Yes, sir. 60 to 70 hours is regular for me, and it means I get very little done with my time. Oy, because I'm usually I work at restaurants, and I'm pretty much there open to close every day. That'll be hopefully changing in the not too distant future, but we shall see. It's kind of unsustainable as a thing. Oh, 40. That makes more sense, yeah. You know, I wouldn't recommend it. It's not, doesn't feel good. Physically, mentally, spiritually, none of that shit. It's like going to Gordon Ramsay? Nah. It's my restaurant, technically. It's a family-owned restaurant. So I'm like responsible for everything for the most part, and that's why I get so many hours there. I work off salary, so those extra hours don't count towards anything either. What's crazy is before I was working at the restaurant, I used to work like 32 hours maybe, so like like literally half of what I work right now, just so I could work on this kind of stuff, like video stuff and streams and stuff. But I really wanted to get my own place and stuff like that, so I upped it to, it was more lucrative, of course, I get paid well and everything, but it's just like, man, time is something I no longer have, unfortunately. I do like this concept that I'm working at this Gordon Ramsay restaurant though. It's pretty sick. I just caught notice. Sorry, I just look at this Instagram post of a local theater showing a show, a movie called "Fuck My Son," and it's X-rated, demented comedy and maniacal horror. As a desperate mother drags an innocent stranger into an absurd, filthy nightmare beyond comprehension, an unflinchingly loyal adaptation of transgressive artist Johnny Ryan's joyfully disgusting comic book. I'm curious. Oh, buddy. Sounds like a family-friendly time, absolutely. Yeah, family's gonna go watch. What the fuck is the name of the movie again? I forgot already. This is called Joyride. I don't think it's called Joyride. Alright, it sucks I'm already hungry. Well, it's already 5, so I guess that makes sense. I was trying to hold off on eating for a little bit longer. But... Jetpack Joyride? Bro, haven't thought about that in years. Holy moly. Blast to the past, bro. Jeez. Let's make that a little bit more curvy. I do feel like a random thought generator sometimes, bro. I feel like that too sometimes. It's kind of fun. like bringing me back to the days of like Jetpack Joyride and Pocket God. You know? That's the shit. When an iPod Touch meant you were the coolest kid in school. I didn't have one. Never played Pocket God, but I do remember that Cloning Disaster song. Cloning Disaster? I actually don't think I know what you're talking about. Interesting. Pretty sure it was a song made about the game not getting enough updates. Oh, this sounds familiar actually, because I remember people waiting on bated breath for updates on that game. Hold on, what's it called? Cloning. Oh, Pocket God. I'm gonna listen to this later. I don't think I can listen to it on stream. Cloning disaster. Let's see. The Pocket God update song has 1.2 million views. Can you still download Pocket God? Probably gives you like a virus on your phone now. Let's see. Pocket God. No, you can't. Hilarious. I'm sure you could find like an APK of it. Oh boy. That works. I still need it like a little bit, but yeah, if I liquefy it just a smidge, I think we'll be fine. So many old mobile games lost to time, dude. I don't think you can download Angry Birds anymore. Isn't that crazy? Remember Flappy Bird? That was like the biggest mobile controversy of this century. Kind of hard to forget. Dude, I used to play the fuck out of Flappy Bird. That shit's funny. I remember it made me so angry I downloaded a game called Flappy Crush just to kill the bird over and over. Never heard of it, but that's hilarious. That sounds fitting. Fuck that game. It was fun, but fuck that game. Legendary Godzilla head is kind of small compared to his body, huh? Yeah. He do got teeny head. The thick ass neck. Big old thick neck. we have hit the 3-hour mark, boys, which means I'm gonna take a break and call us a stream, I believe, which we got some decent progress done. For 3 hours is less than I expected, but hey, it's something to something. Dude, I can't believe your History of Godzilla video is 8 hours, oh my god, or 8 years old at this point. I remember watching like not that long ago after it came. Really? So you've been here for that long, huh? That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for doing that. That means the world to me. That's I have like somebody that's been there for that long. But yeah, man, that video's been out for a long time, and part of me kind of wants to remake it because it's just so old, and I think there's a lot that could be updated and advanced and enhanced. But maybe that's a talk for a different day. As I was about to say, I believe I'm gonna head out for the moment. Emil, thank you very much for stopping by here and being here as long as you were. Greatly appreciate you. You're very kind, and I hope to see you on the next one. Nonetheless, thank you all for watching. I will see you all later. Oh, maybe like a year after it came out. That's pretty great, even still. I will see you all later.